Folks, thanks for coming on the line with us today. My name's John Dubas. I'm a Vice President of Agent Success for Premier Marketing. And for the next 45 minutes or so, we'll go over some of the possibilities that you have with our organization as a contracted agent to make certain that we're doing everything we can to get you in front of folks in a buying situation for the products that you offer through our organization. We thank you for your partnership and look forward to the opportunity to do just that. So what we're going to do today is spend a little time speaking of the marketing support programs that are available to contracted agents through Premier Marketing. A bit of background up front. Today's presentation is being recorded, and additional information will be sent to you as follow-up to today's presentation, and we will make certain that a marketer follows up as well to make certain that we have all the pieces in play for you. A bit of background about Premier Marketing. We are a national marketing organization founded in 1968, a part of the Integrity Marketing platform with offices across the country. We're an insurance wholesaler that offers insurance services through independent insurance agents with contracts at the highest possible commission levels and recruiting contracts available for those who qualify. As I mentioned, we were founded in 1968, so this is our 50th anniversary. We're proud of that accomplishment to commemorate the growth from a small family insurance agency to one of the largest marketing organizations of its type in the country. We are the largest producer for several carriers, including Medicare Advantage product through United Healthcare, Anthem, and Meridian Care. Many of the other name brand organizations that you hear of are part of our portfolio, and we're a highly productive organization for those carriers as well. This gives you a bit of a peek as to the office layout of the Integrity Marketing platform across the country. We're a highly effective organization that can serve just about any insurance need that you may have to accommodate your prospects and clients. One of the questions we hear all year long, and particularly at this particular time of the year, is the inevitable question of, got leads? You have any? Well, it kind of depends on your definition of what a lead is and where you want to go with it. The infamous story of Alice in Wonderland when she fell in the hole and addressed the Cheshire Cat. She asked him which way she should go. And the cat says, it depends on where you want to get to, in a manner of speaking. And that's kind of the same way that you need to approach leads in marketing. If you have a goal in place, it helps you determine where you need to go and what you need to put into that journey to get there. Because we don't want to just buy business. We want to make certain that we're making money and doing things on a productive basis that is fiscally responsible. So in a lot of ways, we have to work some things backwards in order to make certain that the activity that we're conducting is fruitful and profitable as well. So when we look at the different options that we have available, many folks can sink the same sort of a dollar investment into the same type of marketing activity and get very different results. So let's look at some of the things that we need to do in order to accommodate our goals. First off, if we have an idea of what sort of financial remuneration we're looking for, that gives us an opportunity to work backwards based off of the commission of the products that we're offering and the time that we're putting into that activity. It also gives us then an idea to use a formula to reach that end goal. If we're looking for a six-figure income and new commissions, well, we're going to have to work backwards off of the commission that we earn. Let's say it's a renewal type of base, rounding down on a Medicare Advantage program with a $200 commission. It's going to tell us the specific number of sales we need to make, and then using the 10-5-2 formula that is very common in the insurance world, the number of leads that we need to have in order to visit enough people to sell enough product to make that goal. We then have to look at where are we going to get those leads. Are we going to use mailers? Are we going to do community marketing through faith-based organizations and providers, are we really good at getting referrals from our current client base and for those that we visit, those that we sell and those that we don't? Or where else are we going to get these leads in order to achieve our goal? Part of that depends on you, obviously, and when you look at your own situation, the products that you're looking to market, the mix of those products, and where you want to go to pursue those sales. It's obvious in certain areas we have to apply the product to the demographic of the area that we're targeting. Here in the Dallas area, we have the Park Cities and we have Fair Park, two completely different demographics that call for two different product type offerings. And we want to make certain that we match up the area we're marketing to the products that are most successful or most likely to be sold in that particular area. We also need to make certain that we're following the rules that different governmental agencies and different carriers place upon us in order to market that particular product. And those regulations may be different, very well different, from product to product. Being aware of those regulations will also affect the manner in which we market. What we'll do is incorporate a number of different marketing activities to create a comprehensive plan and move forward to doing it. Because obviously the old expression, when all is said and done, more is said than done, and staring at a telephone just won't make it ring. We need to do the activity to generate that type of marketing opportunities that we're after. Because remember, the ever famous Pepe Le Pew in his pursuit of Penelope, you don't get kissed if you don't ask. So let's look at some of the opportunities we have to get in front of a qualified lead for the products that we're offering. As I mentioned before, we're looking at an overall comprehensive program because we don't want to put all our eggs in a single basket. So consider a well thought out program that incorporates in many different ways of approaching our target population. One of the most basic programs that insurance agents have pursued for years is the relationship with Ma Bell and cold calls. We have different compliance constraints that we have on that, but that's something that we will discuss. We'll also look at grassroots marketing campaigns that are based off of the community, the target area that we have chosen to pursue. And we can use different venues within that target market in order to be successful. Combining different retail marketing programs, faith-based venues that may be available in that area, provider marketing of a number of different types, and utilizing the centers of influence that are in that area that we're pursuing. Many times too, depending upon the type of product that we're offering, we do get support from different carriers. We'll discuss that as well, and we'll talk about the outreach that is available to us through different social media programs and how that can be an effective part of an overall campaign. One of the things we need to do as well is go back in history and deploy the age-old effective lead generator called a referral. And let's look at that in some detail as well. And then, of course, you have the direct marketing campaigns that can be an influencer in all of those different programs that we mentioned. If we do a small mailing per week, we can cold call behind it and drive up the effectiveness of that mailing. We can do a direct mail campaign for any of the market-based community events that we're pursuing in order to make that more successful. Obviously, different carriers will offer direct mail campaigns as well. Believe it or not, you can even do direct mail campaigns to drive folks to an interactive social media campaign as well. And it's a way to pursue our client base, our current client base, for referrals. So an overall strategy that we can take into place or put in place and become very effective with. Let's visit Ma Bell and remember the old marketing expression of reach out and touch someone. What we can do is create a contact list that is custom ordered for you based on different demographics, dependent upon the product that you're pursuing, and use it with the Hello, I'm selling. Are you buying technique? Obviously, you'll want a script that's a tad more effective than that, but this is a way that we can supply you a list of names butted up against the do not call list and make that a part of your overall campaign. Remember, there are some programs that do not allow cold calling. Specifically, at this time of year, Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plans. Cold call for those, it's a really quick way to make certain that you lose your contract and possibly even your license. So we need to make certain that we go back to the slide a few slides ago and remember the regulations that prohibit us from certain activities. When you look at a list of folks to approach, obviously, people turning 65 are a strong target for the programs that we offer for additional medical and prescription drug coverage and other ancillary products as well. Keep in mind, however, that this market needs to be looked at with a bit of scrutiny as well, because a number of the people that are on Medicare, about a sixth of that population, are actually under the age of 65 and are a very viable product for a lot of what we have in our repertoire, what we have in our portfolio. Different Medicare Advantage programs can be a very effective way of helping those people, but since we're talking about cold calling, we can't do that. There is also the portion of the population that continues to work past the age of 65. Many of those that are in an occupation that, as part of their benefit package at work, may provide them health coverage, drug coverage, even life insurance coverage past the age of 65 as long as they continue to work. Some of them may have even deferred picking up Medicare Part B and are not eligible for some of the products that we offer. So it's important to note that that overall number may be affected positively by additional people that aren't yet 65 and negatively as a total number of prospects by people who are continuing to work past the age of 65 and not retired. It's also important to note that that is a huge market. Marketing organizations such as ours and different insurance carriers will speak to the fact that over 10,000 people a day are turning 65 and are part of the baby boomer rollover into this market. Very true. Since everybody talks about it, there's a whole lot of people chasing it too. And so we need to be aware of that fact and realize that we must time our campaigns properly, go back with certain expectations well in advance of the person turning 65, because I got to tell you, some carriers start marketing at 63 and a half. And keep in mind as well that there may be people that beat you to the punch as well. One of the ladies I used to work with, as she turned 65, one morning before 10 o'clock in the morning, she received 22 phone calls from insurance agents that were offering her their services to help her purchase a Medicare supplement program. So it's something to consider in the fact that, yes, it's a huge market affected by additional and subtraction of market potential, but it is also something that everyone, or a large number of people, I should say, is pursuing as well. So that gives us then the option to look at other people that fit different demographics. If we're cold calling, consider looking at the 67-year-olds, perhaps even a 66-year-old, because these people may have purchased the cheapest policy on the street or what they perceive to be the least expensive policy on the street, and they've already received a premium increase. Many times this then provokes that person into shopping their policy, and they are not as heavily pursued by other marketers. So something to consider when you smile and dial through a Medicare supplement campaign. There is also the opportunity for you to use that demand medical product to find prospects for other products that are part of your portfolio. Many folks that are interested in a Medicare supplement program have a higher income than the overall Medicare population. Overall Medicare population has a median income of about $26,200 as of a couple of years ago. And so some of those folks can't afford a Medicare supplement. We can tweak the list in order to target higher income individuals, and those higher income individuals many times have worked at a profession that offered a qualified retirement program that at the age of 70 and a half required them to institute a required minimum distribution, pulling monies out of that savings account, and if they don't do so, the government's going to take half of it. There has been an executive order a couple of months ago by President Trump that may change the timing of that program, the age that is required to initiate that withdrawal. That is not yet fully in play, however. So looking at a 69 and a half to 70-year-old, that may give us the opportunity to farm for additional dollars for additional products that individual may need. So something to consider when you create your custom contact list or work with us to do so. The community-based programs that I spoke of a bit earlier include different campaigns within a target market, and coordinating those activities can really influence the success of each of those opportunities. One of the things that we've seen for quite a number of years already is working a Walmart. Well, there are a number of different retail opportunities in addition to Walmart, which is good because the Walmart opportunity is closed for those that haven't already gotten into it on a general basis. But you may have a retail opportunity through a carrier-specific campaign or through a do-it-yourself program. We have trainings on how to maximize the value of a retail marketing program, a marketing venue initiative, and so I would strongly suggest that you visit our website for the recordings of those webinars as well. But it's a great way for you to get out into the public and initiate the old adage of, hey, even a blind squirrel will find an acorn. It's a great way to get in front of people, and that activity can help you market. Augment that activity, or vice versa, by approaching faith-based organizations. These are opportunities you may have to publicize the fact that you're participating in retail, or give you an opportunity to arrange for a seminar selling situation at that faith-based organization, or perhaps even a camp. Not everyone is comfortable with group presentations. You can do it a couple of different ways. But what this does is it gives you an opportunity to market year-round as well, much like you can in retail with a little tweaking, by rotating some of the topics that you have available. So doing some things on an informational basis, a Medicare 101 class, a course on Medicare Advantage on a generic basis, or PDP programs, Part D prescription drug programs, or different types of Medicare supplement plans are a very timely option at this particular point in time. You'll also find that many of the carriers that you contract with want you to do group presentations specifically for their product. Many times they'll help you set up the event itself, but they don't always help you drive the attendance. Working with a faith-based organization can help you draw that audience strictly out of that religious organization, because many of those folks, like many of us in the real world, so to speak, don't always respond to TV or radio or direct mail, and they may respond to outreach through their faith-based family. So something to consider there as well. Many of the programs with whom we contract obviously are network-based. This gives us an opportunity to work with providers that are contracted with that organization to do reviews for their health coverages as well, taking some of the stress off the staff, much like you do in a retail situation, by doing different reviews of their health and prescription drug coverage. This, however, can go beyond contracted providers. Many of us think of the primary care docs right away. Well, there are some docs that don't participate in a network, in a Medicare Advantage plan, and they may be a true partner for us to utilize our Medicare supplement quoting abilities and help those offices maintain the most cost-effective health coverage and prescription drug coverage for that patient base as well. So something to consider when you're looking at medical providers. But keep in mind, provider partners go beyond doctors. Dentists in the area can have a great influence on people and create another source for you to drive business from to one of your other meetings. However, it also gives you the opportunity to market dental programs to those dentists, and that can be of a great help to you as well, not only in more fully covering people in the marketplace, but for you to establish an additional revenue stream outside of some of what we might perceive as a more traditional Medicare product. It's also important to note that we can work with the people that deal with our prospects on a regular basis, and that might include home health care carriers and companies, and also durable medical equipment suppliers as well. So different avenues that we can use in the provider community to help our prospecting outreach. Other centers of influence in the community, I lovingly refer to certain restaurants as Blue Hair Heavens, and we can find different restaurants within our community that offer discounts to the senior population through wisebread.com, another way to saturate a particular market that you're choosing to target. We can also find the churches in that particular area through churchangel.com, a great way for you to make certain that you have a comprehensive list of churches to visit, to both publicize an event some other place or to initiate an event at that particular church. You can also find out information about food pantries through foodpantries.org, much for the same reason as what I've referred to in the other areas, to hold events there and to drive the population to your other marketing sites. One thing to be very careful about with foodpantries.com is where you distribute the material, because if they're handing out foodstuffs, you got to be a certain distance from that distribution in order to remain compliant. One of the other avenues that you can pursue as well is through not just where they worship or where they seek care, but where they live. Lowhousing.com can help you find folks that you can market to on a continuous basis through accessing that population with your low-income subsidy and Medicare savings plans information. And there are also a number of other resources online and through publications that can help you find assisted living or senior living facilities as well. One of the great ways of reaching into that community in more of a perhaps non-traditional type of senior setting is through mobile home parks that many of them will cater to a senior population. Many of those will also allow on-site marketing that can be very effective for you. I mentioned a bit earlier that sometimes our carrier partners will also help us out in lead generation. Some of them will do co-op activity with an agent that has shown them that they are a partner to them and are a regular producer. Some of them may have recycled leads in a manner of speaking that are available to folks that aren't afraid to smile and dial compliantly in a structured setting. And some of them may help generate leads through some of their own marketing programs as well. When we look at social media as a way of reaching out to folks, it's also a way for us to publicize the different campaigns, and you'll find many of the social media outreach programs are subject to the same sort of compliance guidelines that we have with other means of reaching out to the target population that we're seeking. So that's something to be very careful with, and it's also something that you might consider different types of social media for different purposes. Facebook is very social and is very effective for lead generation. It's a question then of making certain of what you say on Facebook is compliant. There's also the often overlooked lead source of working our current book of clients and the folks that we visit with, if we sell them or not. Many circumstances, you can have an appointment where you aren't able to help the individual with whom you're visiting, but they may know of others that need your help, and sometimes it's just as simple as asking. One of the things, obviously, that you, as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, that you can use in conjunction with a number of these other activities is direct mail. It's a proven program to elicit responses from folks that are interested in what you're offering, and we offer support for folks that do business with us to help subsidize the cost of those mailings. We work with 4 preferred lead vendors, and we use a certain catalog of prospecting letters. We do so because we are required to maintain compliance oversight for those letters, and we make certain that they meet the guidelines that are given to us by the different carriers with whom we contract and CMS itself. It's a great way for you to stay on top of things on a regular basis. One of the things that we strongly suggest to you, however, when you deal with direct mail, utilize it like you do an effective exercise program. Not mine, when I do just a little bit of exercise when I feel like it, not consistently. What you feel then is a little bit of the pain and you don't see the same result. So do it consistently once you engage in that program. These are the 4 preferred lead vendors that we work with. They have a catalog of approved mailers, and many of them will offer, in addition to the discounts that we have, special rates for different circumstances. Some of the carriers with whom you can have an opportunity to contract may avail upon you different letters or postcards that come at a minimal cost, and it can then be incorporated into one of these mail campaigns to drive down your costs even further. A number of those folks that do so include different final expense campaigns and specific carriers that are very effective in the marketing support that they offer contracted and producing agents. Legacy Safeguard, a final expense program that we offer here at Premier, also gives you an idea of how many mailers you need to use based off of different return rates to achieve the income that you're looking to achieve. Mutual of Omaha is one of the carriers that has a very unique marketing credits program, and that's something that I would strongly suggest that you pursue getting additional details on, because they will provide postcards to contracted agents on a quarterly basis at a certain limit without cost, the postcard itself, and that can really drive down the cost of your mailer. And the credits that they offer through production offers you additional opportunities to fund non-traditional marketing expenses. So something that we actually have an additional webinar on of our partnership with Mutual of Omaha that can give you some additional information and some specifics about this marketing support. Washington National has a similar campaign for some of their critical illness programs that can really help you pursue that segment of the business on a year-round basis. Really kind of either a mailer, a letter mailer, or a postcard that is available to you. There are, of course, other ways of getting in front of an individual, and that may include internet-generated leads. I would strongly suggest that if you do so, you carefully track how these leads are procured, because in any circumstance you have with a Medicare Advantage or prescription drug plan, if there is a challenge as to different compliance procedures, you need to make certain that you can basically identify where that lead came from. And if these online lead creators are soliciting folks in an improper manner, you're on the hook for it. So a bit of caution in this particular way of getting in front of people. We do also offer a way to put your social media program on autopilot as well through our Coverage Made Easy programs. For a small fee per month, this organization, this partner, will actually generate compliant material for you to use on a consistent basis. There's that catchphrase again, on social media, that can help draw you a purchasing audience as well. One of the things that many of us are remiss in doing, in addition to asking our current product base for referrals or the folks that we visit, and that is revisiting our book of business for additional product from what they already have in their portfolio with you. This gives you an opportunity, particularly with one of many carriers that are becoming more adept at electronic enrollments, of you to add to the products you have in a household, driving up all the persistency of all the products, but also covering the needs that they may have in different areas that you had not discussed with them prior. A great way of creating additional revenue streams for you, and a way for you to make certain that you are addressing all of the needs of the folks that you're visiting with and that are part of your overall book of business. If you think about it, what's the most receptive audience that you may already have on people you approach? Those are the folks that you've already sold a product, that they're comfortable with, and that they are very happy with. And it's a way for you to make certain, as I mentioned before, take care of the needs that they have in the household, and kind of close a door or a window from the folks that are looking at perhaps product from another agent. Drive up your persistency. We have, of course, a full portfolio of products at Premier that can help you with that cross-selling process, and that includes all types of Medicare programs, including Medicare Advantage and PDP programs, and a full array of Medicare supplement plans, a nice portfolio of life insurance and annuity product, including final expense and pre-need programs, long and short-term care, disability income, and a nice array of ancillary products that include dental, vision, and hearing programs, critical illness and cancer plans, and hospital indemnity programs. Some of the webinars that we've done recently actually help walk you through a combination selling program with Medicare supplement plans and these ancillary benefits, and Medicare Advantage programs and these ancillary benefits, some of which might actually be funded by a Medicare Advantage program that has a Part B buyback. So something to look for additionally on our website, and for some of the correspondence that comes to you inviting you to some of these additional webinars as well. That Medicare Advantage portfolio has basically all the named carriers in it, and a large number of regional carriers as well. The PDP program as well. Nice options across the board, many of those affiliated with the name brand carriers that offer Medicare supplement or Medicare Advantage plans, or programs that are standalone PDP programs, and that's what they offer. That Medicare supplement portfolio is very large and very robust with the different marketing support programs that come with it. Keep in mind, you can market Medicare supplement programs differently than Medicare Advantage and Medicare prescription drug programs because they're subject to different regulations. As you've gone through and you recognize the need for additional dental programs, or, oh boy, I need a couple good cancer programs, a hospital indemnity program to make certain that I cover my Medicare Advantage folks that have that daily copayment, you can actually establish a profile through SuranceBay and contract with multiple carriers very easily and very adeptly through an electronic process that can really help address that carpal tunnel syndrome you might have otherwise. Some additional trainings that we offer include a number of programs that support these different types of community activities, and then we always strongly advise that you study up and make certain that you know the programs with whom you're contracted. And so that means attending carrier trainings on their products and their marketing techniques as well. These are also done on a regular basis within our organization, and we record them as this presentation is being recorded to make certain that you can visit or revisit that particular training at your convenience. So you have a number of opportunities and a number of carriers with whom to market. It becomes then, in many circumstances, a question of you determining what is valuable for your portfolio of products, agreeing to act upon it, doing what you need to be able to offer that program, and go out and actively market. We want to be your partner in that initiative, and this is contact information of those of us in the Dallas office. You also have the marketers that are available to you through our home office in Norfolk. Dialing that 1-800-365-8208 number and asking for the marketer with whom you are already associated, or if you're new to our organization, call and ask for me. I'll be scary and actually answer your call, and we'll make certain that we get you the information that you need to fill your portfolio, exercise all the options that you have available to you in the marketing programs that we offer, and help contribute to your success this AEP and all year long. I want to thank you for coming on the line with us today. We look forward to visiting with you in the very near future, and we wish you good selling. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.